just follow your trail and I'm losing your mind and I'm losing your head. Let me escape from this unlove, cause I'm a prisoner. I just want to look my way and never back to you.
What's going on, folks? Gotta switch the screens around. I don't wear glasses. I have a ginger beard. What is going on, Cody Mac?
Yet again, nothing to talk about. How's the weather?
Tottenham Hotspur for the win. I wore this shirt today to simply trigger the trolls.
Sucker.
Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what, it's been a kind of a whirlwind of a. It's never, Tottenham Hotspur never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to cause me to have to do more than I probably want to do.
Seriously, it wouldn't surprise me if I woke up one day and Levy was downstairs pissing in my coffee already. I don't know how much more of this shit that I can take. Every single day, something worse. Like, you wake up and you're just like, what's falling on my head today as a Spurs supporter? You know, who's gonna kick me in the nuts today, right?
I mean, it definitely is like a Hollywood movie, right? Weekend at Joe's.
Like, am I being punked? Is this a dream? Well,
Yeah, dude,
why? What? Like, I don't understand. I look at like other football clubs, and they appear to love and cherish their fans. You know, what does that feel like? All I know is abuse. That's all I know. Endless abuse.
Yeah, and Athel stands here. He's saying Will's beard is good, but it's in the championship compared to Cody's beard.
Well, let's put Will in the Premier League, and I'll go in the Champions League. We'll say that. That's a nicer way of putting it.
I actually trim mine because, like I've said before, mine gets all Wolverine on me on the sides, and it doesn't want to come down. It wants to go out.
Now, let me tell you about my beard. Okay, last year I shaved twice. Okay, once was on Mother's Day, and once was on Christmas Day, and both times it was as a gift to my wife, because she's not the number one fan, let's say, of kissing like a scrunch pad.
Mine either. But you know what? To be honest with you, my stubble grows in so quickly. Like, I could literally, if I shave smooth, it's back in probably 2-3 hours to feel like sandpaper. And I keep trying to explain to her that if you let me grow it out longer and put some beard conditioner in there and stuff like that, that it'll actually be softer than kissing me with unless you're like literally kiss me exactly as soon as I shave. Like, you got a 2-hour window there before it starts feeling like sandpaper.
So anyways, the last time I shaved was Christmas of 2020, and Mother's Day snuck right up on me this year. Like, the night before, she said something about it, because like I've just got the Tottenham Hotspur blinders on right now. It's like the only thing I can it's the only thing that I can handle talking about. And I use this show as an excuse not to actually shave.
So I can't shave anymore, baby.
It's part of the brand. Like, what
my brand now.
Honestly, I don't know. Like, people might not think it's me without the beard now. So
Wouldn't recognize you.
maybe Christmas, maybe not though. I would grow it out as far as I could.
But mine, I think it's only about, let's see, I go from the bottom of my chin to about first knuckle, so it's probably about an inch long.
Oh, you know what? I just look stupid without a beard now. You know, it was okay when I had hair, but like now I need to like it's about symmetry, right? So my forehead is so big. I need so much down here just so that I don't look ridiculous.
Yeah, but you need to trim the top again too. You're getting a little furry at the top.
Yeah, I slack there. That's why I wear the hat. I'm lazy like that.
I'm lazy too. I just got to get yourself. Maybe we can get Manscaped to sponsor the show one day, and then we'll get some free stuff. But we got to get a nice waterproof trimmer to go in the shower. And so just whenever I take a shower, I just hit it with the trimmer. I don't bick it. I only bick it like if there's like a special occasion or something like that. But otherwise, I just hit it with the trimmer. So on camera, you can't really see, especially when we shrink down to more than one person on the screen. You can't really see. I mean, you can see it a little bit, but
okay. I'll give you an idea where my chin is. Okay. Okay,
It's
that's not
about 2 inches.
my chin is a little bit above that.
About 2 inches. About 2
Quality
inches.
content yet again. Welcome to THFC Rants. Like, subscribe, and comment.
I don't have a pencil around here, so I can't do that.
Like, it wouldn't. I don't think that would end well for you.
It's longer than it looks, to be honest with you, because I tend to brush mine down and down and around. I just don't like it when it starts fraying and frizzling around. Yeah, but we do have some business that we have to take care of. We take care of at the beginning of every stream. Even though we've been talking about beards for the last 10 minutes, I blame I blame Athelstan. It's his fault. He brought it up. But we do have Williams Rangers here. We have the newest member of the Williams Rangers, Tony Go. Thank you, sir, for that. He's a Canadian up there in Canada, Korean Canadian. And he's joined the Patreon group. If you guys want to get involved in that, basically what it does is help support the channel. And then on Thursdays, I have my Q&A show. That link is posted in the Patreon for all of our top ranter tier level Patreons. If they decide to, no one's taken me up on the option yet, but I post it in there every time. If you want to come on and join the show and ask questions or answer questions from the audience during the first hour of that show, that level will get you into that. Might have to think of some better gifts for the people. I think the members that we have now are, just really want to support the show. So I don't really think that they're even concerned about coming on. But, hey, it is what it is. And we appreciate all the help that we can get. And I got a bunch of people in the chat today already, 24 people pulling up. And we appreciate you guys hanging out and supporting the channel. A lot of support recently, and that's been great. We've hit over 25,000 views. It's actually probably far more than that now. And then we've also gotten over 600 plus subscribers. We're almost at 630.
625, baby.
Let's get us to 650 by the end of the week. I think that would be a good target to get. So if you're watching the show for the first time and you enjoy the show, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It motivates us. Every time we get a new subscriber, anytime I go to bed and wake up and there's 10 more subscribers than there were the day before, it really motivates me to get up and continue to make all of the sweet content to the channel. You know what? We've got a new show that's coming up. We'll go ahead and promote this now. It's at 6 p.m. New York time, not 7. Somebody was confused on what the time difference between the UK and the US was. But we've gotten that straightened out. 6 p.m. New York time, premiering today for the first time. We have the 3 wise men. Their goal is to educate, enlighten, and inspire, and fill your ears with a bunch of colorful language. We've also got, and their show topic today is Tottenham. Who are we? And how did we get here? And the basis of this show is really to kind of be like a, kind of like a serious talk, a little bit of education, a little bit of, kind of insights into the history, some of the things that have been going on in the past, especially the past I'm assuming with the personalities that we have involved in the show, that it's probably going to be, a lot of talk about the last 20 years and how bad it's been. I hope there's some other cool things in there too, but I'm sure there will be, because we've got Mr. K will be revealing his face to the world, hopefully. And we have Awesome All and Brian Daigle, who's in the chat. And they'll be doing that show, I think right now, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Their first guest tonight is Stelios. You know him, you love him. The masked clown.
Of the famous Sky Sports interview.
Sky Sports and the papers and all that good stuff, and they'll be talking about, you know, who they are, who Tottenham is, and how we've come the way that we've come. And so, yeah, I mean, it's I think it'll be a fun show. Neither Cody nor my face will grace that show, at least for tonight. I'm sure that at some point one of us will get on there at one point in time. Maybe not. People are sick of looking at me anyway. They have to see my bald head far too often.
Oh, come on. You kidding me? Did you see yourself in that hat on David's show? That was
That only comes. I only break that out in David's show. It's now a requirement to go on the Irish Hotspur to have a flat cap.
I gotta hit up like Amazon. Look up driver's caps. Can't go shopping. Everyone needs to have one of those now.
Yeah, it's flat cap, or what was the term? There's another term that they use.
Driver's cap.
Driver's cap was one, but there's another term too. Can't remember what it's called.
The Irish
cap.
Huh? The Irish hot cap.
The Irish hot cap. No, it's not the Irish hot cap. But I figure I need to get it in there and rip some songs and be like, you know, we ain't going nowhere. We are flat caps for life.
Yeah. You know, the theme song to Peaky Blinders could also fit in there.
Yeah. I just thought instead of Bad Boys for Life, you know, like from the movie, you just switch to flat caps. I think that'd be pretty funny. And then Eva Man, she is up late watching us. She's like, hi guys, seen you all day today. Yes, you have. Terry Rice says the Three Wise Men sounds like a good show. Yeah, make sure you guys watch it. Give them a lot of support, right? I'm sure that Mr. K is probably crapping himself today as he deals with getting ready for it. And make sure you guys show up and give him a lot of love and support so that he can kind of get relaxed and feel.
Yeah, like it's one thing for like total egomaniacal North American assholes like you and me to start our own show. You know, we're totally comfortable getting told off all the time and not getting support. But show these guys some love because, you know, I'm sure that they're a little bit nervous about launching their own show. I know I was about for the first time, but
yeah, Cody was all about me. He's like in there like a week before, getting all prepared, setting it all up. You know,
you can't spell Cody without OCD.
And then but I'm telling you, once you get into it, it's really just kind of. I mean, for me now, I do so many of these dang things that I just throw it up there and go.
Yeah, I don't want to sound cocky, but I knew I was going to be just fine. I took public speaking in school. I had a job where I spoke in front of people all the time, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah. But not everybody's like that, man. Some people do have a little bit of anxiety. Some people do have a little bit of fear of and it's one thing to come on a show. Like it's different when you're responsible for the content. There's definitely a level of expectation that you place on yourself to kind of make it roll. But look, I'm a loudmouth. I can talk all day, so it's fairly easy for me to fill the dead space with jibba jabba.
They surveyed people about what their number one fear was, and public speaking was number one. Number two was death. Number two, that means that if you're at a funeral, you'd rather be in the casket instead of doing the eulogy. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. Heights has probably got to be up there too. I find there's a lot of people afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of anything, to be honest with you, though. I'm only afraid of creepy crawlies that jump out. So like spiders, like if I see a spider like crawling on the wall or around the floor, I don't get scared. But like if I'm sticking my hand in a dark space or something or a box and all of a sudden there's a spider on my hand, it'll creep me out. And snakes are kind of the same way too. Like if I see a snake, I don't have a problem holding one. But if I'm like walking through tall grass or something like that, and I hear like a little rattle. I mean, folks in the UK probably don't deal with that, but we do here. And that can get me a little bit nervous. It's more, I guess you could say, a fear of the unknown. That's about it.
You know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of Harry Kane leaving Tottenham Hotspur.
I am too.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I'm more afraid that if Harry Kane does leave Tottenham Hotspur, we're not going to actually be responsible and do what we were supposed to do. And Mr. Manny says, "How often do you see snakes?" I wouldn't say it's like every day, but I live out in kind of the rural area of a big city, so far more often you think. I mean, rabbits and deer in my backyard almost every day, and squirrels and birdies. What about you? You live out in whatchamacallit country, so you should see wildlife frequently.
Yeah, not much
Any
in the way of snakes. Like, we're kind of right in the middle of a bunch of lakes. If you go out into the woods around here, you'll find snakes. There's rattlers around here, but tons of deer. Even like I live in a little subdivision of a small town, but the deer are always eating people's gardens and flowers, and the bears will come after your compost and everything.
Any mooses rolling around?
Ethelstan, you're correct. You know what? There's nothing better there's no better cover to trying to commit a crime than being able to just completely lop off a beard after you commit it. Nobody will recognize you.
Cutting your hair too. That works.
Yeah.
You have hair and then you shave it all off. It completely changes your look. Yeah, you probably wouldn't even recognize me without my beard. I would look like a 12-year-old boy.
You did show us that picture of you dressed up as Potch.
Yeah, and that was with a wig too. And then me kind of just scrunching my face to make it look fatter. Because, Potch is a little rounder face than me. Trying to get that double chin.
Yeah.
He says, Mr. Manny says, all right, fair enough. In London, rats and pigeons is as bad as it gets. Yeah, I would imagine that. We get rats here too, though.
We get raccoons in the inner cities. In Toronto, raccoons are a huge problem. Trash pandas, we call them.
Yeah, we call them trash pandas too. They also too. We don't get some. I mean, we do get a lot of raccoons. I've never really had a lot of raccoon problems. Maybe just because all of our rubbish bins, as they say in the UK, they all have lids. So those little guys have to pull the lids open. But they are pretty smart, dude.
I am 2 hours north of Toronto, but for all intents and purposes, for someone asking from an international point of view, yeah, sure, you can say I live in Toronto. Same thing. No, but
Toronto statistical area.
It's the closest major kind of city.
But Kane wants out.
True or false?
I'm starting to believe it, dude.
It feels different this time, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like all the dominoes have kind of fell, that all the cards have been played, I
tell you what, though, man. When I was doing the research to set these shows up last night, and that's why I just went live on the spur of it. ESPN2 is even coming out and kind of doubling down on their source. I don't think Sky Sports and CNN get along. So
there was some news there that Tottenham were furious about this news being leaked before the end of the season, or at the time that it's been leaked. Would they really be furious if there wasn't any substance behind it?
Nope.
Right?
They would just come out and say it's not true.
Like, I've run out of reasons to justify why, if I was Harry Kane, I would want to stay. Right? He sat there, openly said 3 years ago after he signed his 6-year deal, in 3 years' time, if we haven't won any silverware, that'll be extremely disappointing, and I'll have to reassess my future at that point. We're here. We're no closer. We're as far away from winning trophies as we have been since Harry Kane came along, right? Can't say we came close just because we made the League Cup final, right? Hooray! We beat Chelsea, Stoke, and Brentford. That got us into the League Cup final, right?
I want to go through some of the comments of the press conference, right? And like what Ryan Mason kind of said when he was asked questions. So
Sure.
there was one question that was asked him that says, what have you said to Harry Kane ahead of this game? How are you feeling? He feels fine. Looking forward to tomorrow. He's going to be 100% committed. I'm looking forward to seeing him play in our beautiful stadium in front of our fans. We're excited about tomorrow. And then with what's happened, the next question was, with what's happened over the last 24 hours, how do you think this plays out, this Harry Kane future? And he says, right, he says, I think he starts tomorrow. Because he's our best striker, one of the best strikers in the world. I said all along, and I've been pretty consistent in my message to you guys, whether that's about my future or whether that's about managers for the next season. The facts are that I'm here for the next 2 games. Like, he completely, like, that's not even, nobody asked you about you, Ryan. They were asking about Harry Kane. He's like, that's my main focus. I'm putting a team out and preparing a football team to win those games of football, and hopefully tomorrow we can do that with Harry at the front, and hopefully he has an influence on the game. Something like, he's been asked 2 questions about Harry Kane, and he hasn't said it's not true once yet. And then he says, is it quite sad potentially for you, a good friend of his, a former teammate, and the club in general could potentially be his last home game for the club if Tottenham do accept a bid? And he's like, there's no sadness for me. I'm happy because we've got our fans back in our stadium. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited. I know the players are as well. The fans will make a big difference. And like I said, our focus here for me, the players, everyone involved, is can we get 3 points tomorrow? It's not easy to win games in the Premier League. I say that all the time. I have to respect Aston Villa, and we do that. We're ready for the game, so no sadness. I'm excited about tomorrow. Like, that's a third question asked about Harry Kane, and Ryan Mason completely dodges it.
What is he supposed to do? Right? What thing is, put any manager in that chair today.
No, but I'm saying that means that's got to mean that the statement's true.
No, because any manager will not insert themselves into that conversation.
If it was false, you just immediately you deny that rumor.
No. It's you hardly ever give me one example.
Jose
Mourinho,
a manager.
What did he say in regards to
in April? Transfer? So in April, when that came out that Harry Kane said on that thing that if they didn't get top 4, that he would that he wants to win trophies and he'd be likely to move on, right? Jose Mourinho came out and said, no, Harry's not going anywhere. Harry's here with us. You know what I mean? So there's been lots of times when people, if it's not true, I think it's got to be true. And then
the thing is, it's not like you can compare those 2 scenarios one by one. There wasn't all this noise, right? The noise is this is peak Harry Kane leaving noise right now, right? And if you, as a manager, forget Ryan Mason for a second, if anybody in that situation dignifies that question by engaging in a real answer, all he's going to do is invite more rhetoric, invite more talk, invite more speculation, right? He's doing what most managers, 99.9% of managers would do in this particular situation with the raging rumors already in place. He's doing his best not to fan the flames. If he answers that question, it just leads to the next line of questions on that same topic. All he's doing is trying to say, stop asking me about this. And I don't blame him for that. I know what you're saying, right? He's not coming out and categorically denying it, right? But he's trying not to fan the flames at this point. And he's doing that probably under the instruction of the press secretary.
Yeah, he's doing a poor job of it. Because like even in the next question when they ask if playing at a different, he said, has he said anything to you or confined to you, it's a difficult one to take, that the thought of him potentially playing at a different club, perhaps even another Premier League club. He's like, I talk to Harry every day, and all we're talking about is the game. Right? He could have just said, no, we haven't talked about the transfers, right? He's never mentioned it to me, right? Like, deny this. It's like, it's a complete washover of the questions. Every single answer.
So he can't come out and say something like, yes, Harry Kane is leaving, right? Even if that is the truth.
Yeah, 100%.
So he is either going to be lying by omission or lying directly by coming out and saying
that's what I'm saying.
That no, Harry Kane is not leaving.
If it's true that Harry Kane did have a face-to-face meeting, because like that's what ESPN reported last night. That's why I went live. The reason that caused me to hit that go button was the fact that ESPN said that it had been confirmed that Harry Kane had a face-to-face meeting with Daniel Levy yesterday. That they had confirmed with their sources that Harry Kane had a face-to-face meeting yesterday in which they talked about potentially leaving the club this summer. And that Harry Kane's camp said that they would prefer to stay in the Premier League. Right? So it was two different conversations that they had with two different people where they got their information from. And so for me, the thing that really caused this to spark off, I was waiting to see what the press conference would be. And then like Alistair Gold came out immediately, pushing it down. But that was old information. We're talking that like, when it very first dropped, Alistair Gold was kind of like, nah, I haven't heard anything. Right. But the thing is he's been being shut out quite often lately. Really, honestly, since his YouTube channel got pretty big, it seems like he's been a bit later than he normally used to be. Don't you think? Like with the whole Bale thing, right? He was like, no, not going to happen. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Whoops. You know what I mean? Doesn't it seem like he's not getting the inside scoop like he did maybe a year or two ago?
Who, Ali Gold?
Yeah. Because don't you remember with when the Bale transfer came through, he was like, no, never going to happen, never going to happen, never going to happen. Blah, there it was. Right?
Yeah, I don't really remember that. I'll take your word for it. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the difference between like potentially overwhelmingly positive news in Gareth Bale returning to tragic news, right? So that might explain why there's not as many breadcrumbs being thrown the way of Ali Gold and the like. But I mean, the way I look at it, if Harry Kane is in a Spurs shirt come September, he's probably being held here against his will, right? He's probably being held here because Levy's priced out the competition.
100%. Look, and I've got no grudges against Harry Kane. I think if he wants to go, I think he should go.
Oh, I don't think anybody can disagree with his desire if it's that's what it's
100%.
I haven't actually seen, and you think about like how Twitter is. I haven't seen a single person come out and say that Harry Kane is a turncoat or anything in the less extreme in terms of language. I haven't seen anybody criticize Harry Kane. Nobody in their right mind could sit here and justify slating Harry Kane for wanting to leave Spurs right now. There's never been a time that makes more sense for him to go. He's at that point in his career where it's now or never. 28 years old. You think about it, if he waits one more year, he's gambling with the rest of his career. He really is. If he waits one more year and he has a serious muscular injury or a serious ankle injury, any kind of injury that puts him out for an extended period, that's it. Now he's stuck here. Right? And the thing is, like, you tell me one player in recent history that you can associate with loyalty to the badge, to this badge, more than Harry Kane. Right? For him to put in a transfer request, whether in writing or by a gentleman's agreement between him and Levy, that's got to kill him. That's got to be killing him to want to leave this club. And that in itself should be enough of a message to anybody that supports this club about the state that we're in right now, about the mess that we find ourselves in, right? one of the greatest legends this club has ever had, a generational talent who is Spurs through and through, one of our own, the very definition. Look up the phrase one of our own, and Harry Kane's face will be beside it. He can no longer see a path to success at Tottenham Hotspur for himself. It's fucking infuriating.
I don't disagree with you at all. And to be honest with you, it makes me upset too. I guess you could say the reason why this is now my fourth stream, I guess you could say, on this topic. So maybe I've therapeutically, brought myself down a level. But for me, the thing that still irritates me is that, especially coming into this week, coming out of the protests and doing all this stuff, there was a lot of hype hop and it's like, look, man, I don't want to say I told you so. I don't want to have to say I told you so, because I want all of us to be united around the same cause, which is getting what needs to be done so that we can get the best Tottenham Hotspur that we can get. Right? Like that's what I don't understand why we're focusing on is people are saying, "Oh, let's wait till to the end of this transfer window," or Dan or Enoch, they're great business people and they love it, and they're great, and they've made us who we are today. Blah blah blah blah blah blah. Well, when you've got Harry Kane, who apparently is supposed to love this club with every inch of his being, and now he has to leave because the board and the ownership have no drive to be successful or win anything, and so he's forced out. Who do you blame then? Can't blame Harry. Can't blame Ryan Mason.
You have to think that sacking Jose was the last nail in the coffin. I said it for months. As long as the Jose sacking speculation was going on, I kept rattling on and saying, if you want Jose out, you want this club to sell Harry Kane. That's how you have to look at this. No, I'm not saying Jose was the answer for this club, but sacking him in the manner that they did, what kind of message does that send to Harry Kane, who reportedly was the last man standing beside Jose when it happened, right? Just look at the body language that we've seen from Kane since then, right?
Yeah, it's been slow. Son too. I mean, just look at the way they played in the final. I think a lot of that dragonness in the final was they were just disheveled and disheartened. You know what I mean? Like the guy that we could have gone out here and played for to actually win the thing, and now we got this. And I don't mean into like a personal disrespect of Ryan Mason, but come on, I wouldn't have confidence. Like if one of the greatest managers of all time gets the sack, not even a week before the final, and all of a sudden my mate that I used to play with comes in and he's the new coach, I'm not going to be filled with a sense of, all right, dude, we're here, we are, we've got the tools, we're going out to make this happen. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, shit. Okay, let's go. Let's try. I guess we'll give it a go. Right? I mean, I'm not going to be filled. I don't think I called him a garbage manager. Did I call him a garbage manager?
No, they're fighting over Jose. Scott M and Michael Cabral, they're always in the chat going at one another about Jose. You two play nice in there, okay? Or I'm putting you in timeout. Ah, man.
Yeah, but Jose was good at playing at parking the bus, right? That's Jose's specialty. That's what you look at parking the bus in the dictionary, and Jose Mourinho's picture's right there. He's the one parking it, parallel parking that bus. If you're going to park the bus, there's probably only one or two managers that you want, in the dugout if you're going to play a low block.
When you take out the emotional aspect of selling my favorite player, One of my favorite players of all time, really. Is there any merit to what Terry is saying here? Because for the same reasons that Kane would want to leave in terms of the point he's at in his career,
I think
Kane
there is
stays
merit to
one
what Terry says.
Yeah. But you know what? The problem with what you're saying, Terry, and I know that you'll probably acknowledge this too, is that I don't really trust our board and our scouting department to spend the money effectively, right?
That's the bigger problem. That is the bigger problem. That's the thing that makes this even worse, right? Look, if we had a normal ownership group and a director of football who actually knew what he was doing, or even back in the days where Paul Mitchell was in charge of recruiting, right? In the same format that we had, then I might even be a little bit excited, to be honest with you. Because right now, if you want to be honest with the state of Tottenham Hotspur, right? Almost all but 16 of our goals have come from Kane and Son. Right? I'm sure it's not exactly, but I'm just guessing off the top of my head, right? And you got Gareth Bale's 9. You throw that on to 22 from Kane and 13 from Son. Right? That's, you get rid of Kane and Son's goals, and the team overall is maybe scoring 16 goals. I'll have to pull up that exact stat for later for tonight. If we end up doing a live stream tonight, but
we had Poch and Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell couldn't stand working with Levy anymore, so he quit. Someone planted a little seed in Daniel's ear about getting Jose in, and he ended up sacking Poch. Right?
Yeah, and
those guys will still be working under the evil claw of Daniel Levy, and that is the problem.
I mean, Paul Mitchell got some stuff. Well, I mean, you could say that Paul Mitchell's done a far better job than Hitchin, but for me, the thing that really, because with the money, if you really think about it, if you get an average of 15 million pounds to 20 million pounds for all the Deadwood, Dyer, Winks, Sissoko,
Aurier, Davies, Lamella,
Sanchez,
Lucas Moura. You could make arguments for about, I'd say 60%.
Everybody.
60% of the squad you can make an argument for.
Let's say you sell 5 of them in the average 20 million. Right, that's another 100 million right there. Then you got 150, 120 million from Kane. That's 220 million. You know what I mean? That's a good, and because we got a lot of guys coming back from loan and a lot of guys coming up from the academy, we don't have to buy as many as we sell. So you could really use that money to buy 4 quality players, and you could have a really good. And I've thrown the ball out there just because it's a name that we've been linked with in the past. You could pick any other type of like false 9 type, number 9. That's that center forward role rather than an out and out striker, who's a creative based, almost like a number 10 type number 9. But they can pull you about 10 goals a season. Because if we could get 5 or 6 players to, like, if we could go like Chelsea right now and get like 5 or 6 players who get like 6 and 7 goals a season, we'd have far more goals than we do now. We'd probably win more games than we do now. Because right now we are so dependent on those 2 people. I mean, and I've thrown it out in a bunch of different streams, so I'll throw it out again. Son, Dybala, Bale, Grealish, Højbjerg, Ndombele, with Lo Celso and Mora and different people, Skip coming in. With 1 or 2 good center backs and a really good kind of creative midfielder, even a Sabitzer, right? And a creative number 9. We could actually play some football. And if I'm Son, then maybe I stick around for another year. Problem is we're going to go out and get Danny Ings or Chris Wood or somebody like that. Yeah, I don't think Ivan Toney is ready to be the number 1. The starter in the club, the point man for a number 9. But I think Ivan Toney would make a great backup.
I don't know. I don't know if anyone is prepared to come in and try and fill Harry Kane's shoes. You know, that's going to be a difficult. Like, who is going to come in there and fill Harry Kane's boots? Nobody. It's almost like whoever comes in there first, it's like, sorry, you're not going to work. You know, there's going to be a certain amount of stigma that goes against that person right off the bat.
What is DCL? I haven't heard
Dominic
that term.
Calvert-Lewin.
Oh, so a Dominic Calvert-Lewin type, they have no creative input into the team. It's just a target man. It's just balls coming into the box and you're heading it in. Right?
I don't think Everton are going to let him go either, first of all.
I don't think that you, in order for that, so if you notice that the Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that he really only has a good game when Jimenez is there and Jimenez is on form and he's feeding him in with these balls that are coming in and across. I don't like that target man, old school, lump it into the box and do a thing. I like it more of where the number 9 is dropping deep. Like Harry Kane's been so good this year and plays in a really good pass in behind around to somebody, and you know, or when the ball comes into the box is there to finish it out. You know,
this is a fair point from Phil too. Like, Leicester would sell Harry Kane. They probably would have sold him a couple years ago, to be honest. That's what they do. They're like a better version of the early 2010s Tottenham Hotspur, right?
I've never said I want to be more like Leicester, personally. Cody has.
No, like
I've never said that.
I think lots of people look at Leicester right now and are jealous because
I'm not jealous.
They're winning trophies without being they're not buying trophies. They're winning them without having to buy them, you know? And I think it's more reasonable to expect us to try and execute that type of plan as opposed to expecting us to buy trophies like Man City or Chelsea and the like, and the Real Madrids and the Barças. There will be life after Harry Kane. We all have to accept that. Whether he gets sold this
you can't replace. There's no one in world football that can replace Harry Kane man for man, right? It's not like you can sell Harry Kane, go out and buy somebody. Even Erling Haaland isn't going to produce the numbers in this first season at the club that Harry Kane did. It's not going to.
I disagree. I disagree. Well, he won't provide the creativity.
Yeah. So you're either going to lose.
You need 2 players. You need 2 players to replace Harry Kane, basically.
Right. And so what I'm saying is if you got to really just look at the numbers, and this is why that Moneyball thing really works, right? It really does work, right? You need to go out and find somebody. If you're losing 22 goals, let's say 30 goals. If you're losing 30 goals a season, right? And say 10 assists, then you need to go out and find 30 goals and 10 assists a season, whether that's in 1 player or whether that's in 3 players. But you need to go out and find those numbers. Otherwise, the team falls apart.
Can you imagine we sell Harry Kane, but we don't sell Dele Alli?
I would sell Dele too. To be honest, Dele could probably still fetch 45, 50 million.
Depends on where we send him.
If you send him overseas, maybe 35.
Yeah.
Domestically, 45, 50 is what I'm guessing. You know what I mean? And so, hey, you know, that's even more money. Look, if I was a new manager and then like say Kane does go, say the rumors are true and he's going to head out and they're going to take offers for him in the summer. I mean, Daniel Levy the club did come out and say that the fan base is going to have to accept a major out, right? A major player being transferred out this summer. People maybe forgot about that. But look, I mean, for me, it's like, hey, if I'm a new manager and I've got 200 million, 225, 230 million pounds to deal with in the summer, that looks attractive to me. Because right now, the players I'm coming in to coach don't look attractive to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm a new manager, am I going to be excited? Yeah, I'm going to be excited to work with Harry Kane, Son, Højbjerg, stuff like that. But am I going to be excited to come out and work with the rest of the players of the squad? But no. But if I'm getting rid of all that deadwood and I got a lot of money here to rebuild a team in my image, It's going to be exciting.
Do you think that Harry Kane's trying to make a power play to force the board's hand to invest? Do you think that there's any chance that he's playing that one card, or has that already been played? Do you think this is not? Do you think this is the first time that he's been serious about going into Levy's office and saying, you know, put up or shut up here? If it is the first time, and Harry Kane says, look, you've got to bring in X manager and X, you have to invest in X positions for us to be successful.
I think they've had those talks before. But
yeah.
Is this maybe him really pushing the buttons this time? Getting his, because this is the first time that Harry Kane's people side have come kind of come out and instigated rumors. You know what I mean? Before it's just been kind of speculation, maybe talking, doing this or whatever. But you know, look, I mean, it's Harry Kane. He deserves to win something, and I think we owe it to him as fan base.
Can't believe tomorrow could be his last home game.
I mean, Ryan Mason was pretty much, he didn't deny it. I mean, the reporters were sitting there basically asking him his last home appearance. Yeah, the fans are excited to see Harry. They're excited to see everybody. I mean, that whole press conference, dude, was very weird. It's not like Ryan Mason's other press conferences haven't been weird, but
I didn't even watch it today. I just said, what's the point? I'm just going to get worked up about what he has to say, and there's not going to be any substance. It's going to leave a bunch of gaps between the lines for us to read between.
It always moves as soon as I try to click on something. I disagree with you, Darren. Lucas Moura has been a far better number 10 this season than Dele Alli has. Just simple facts. Facts.
There's not a player on this squad that you can defend hanging on to if you're going to let Harry Kane go. Hardly any. Just the youth and a couple of key players. You know, a couple of foundational pieces that you can build around. Anyone who's a core part of the core of what this team was 2 years ago.
And you got to remember that Daniel Levy's goal isn't to win trophies, just to make the top four. Right? That's all he wants. So if you roll that money back in the club with 3 or 4 quality players that can help you do that, like, look, if Kane goes to City's winning the league, right? If Kane goes to Chelsea, Chelsea's winning the league. Man United, maybe. Man United people.
You know what? I don't think Man City are in for Harry Kane. Look what they've been able to accomplish this year without an actual striker.
Yeah, but right? if Harry Kane were to go to United, then they'd be in trouble because they don't have a striker now, and they're only sitting on like 70-something points. It's not like last season before that. Right, Aguero's done. He's finished. Gabriel Jesus isn't half the striker that Sergio Aguero is.
You can improve Manchester City without having to bring in Harry Kane for 150 odd million pounds.
I mean, all their goals are coming from outside the box.
It's working.
Yeah, but they're not blowing teams out like 4 or 5-0 like they did last couple of years, right?
Man, they won 20. They won like 20 straight games this year at one point.
Yeah, but they're squeaking them by. Those what I'm saying. It's all 1-0s, 2-1s, 2-0s, 3-0s. They're not blowing. They were blowing when they got the Centennial season. They were blowing teams out 4 and 5-0 week in and week out.
Do you think Phil Foden will be better or worse next year?
Yeah, but he's not a striker though. He's not a 20 goal a season player. He's just not. Not yet.
Not yet, but he could be. I'm just saying, like, I'm not convinced. I look at Man City and they spend the same amount of money on like 17-year-olds that we spend on a Matt Doherty.
Right? Think about it. You got Rashford, Kane, Greenwood up front with Pogba, Fernandez,
McFred, and
well, no, you got the D dude. I mean, really, all Man United need, if they were to get Harry Kane, would be like a really super strong defensive midfielder. And, you know, with Pogba and Fernandes, they would be a force to be reckoned with. Defensively, they're not bad, not great, but not bad. But they would be there, right? Liverpool's going to have their team back. City. I think, right, I'm pretty confident right now that if Liverpool wouldn't have had the injuries that they had this season, I don't think City wins the league this year.
Why would Liverpool not want in on the Harry Kane action here? Because they haven't really been linked.
Know. They could be a sleeper cell.
Just picture that, right? You take their existing, maybe you do a little shake up of the formation. You keep that front three of Mane, Firmino, and Salah, and then you just plop Harry Kane in front of them.
You know, I think if Kane goes to Chelsea, they'd instantly win the league.
You think so, eh?
That's the only thing. That's the
oh
only
my
thing
God,
Chelsea's
are we
league
gonna
missing.
Are we gonna get Timo Werner in return plus cash?
I'm telling you right now, the only thing that Chelsea is missing is a quality striker.
If you were gonna get, because you know that teams that are coming in are gonna want to try and include players in a deal plus cash, because nobody's truly going to want to pay 150 large for Harry Kane. So to sweeten the deal, there's going to have to be some talent involved, right? So let's hypothesize about Chelsea, United, and City. Okay, so Chelsea would probably try and throw in Tammy Abraham. Would you take Tammy Abraham plus 100 and
I'd take Pulisic maybe.
Pulisic, yeah. Good shout.
Pulisic and probably 80 million.
Pulisic and 80. Ooh. I think I'd want a little more cash. I'd want 100.
You got to remember Pulisic was like a 75 million pound player, right? So
yeah,
65 million pound player.
Look, it doesn't play that much for them. It
doesn't play that much for them now, but dude, he's the one that basically kept them in the Champions League.
I hear you.
Yeah, he's probably, to be honest with you, he's the one that looks the most, you know. And if Son's going to be on his way out too, at some point,
I don't think Chelsea would part with him.
I mean, if they want Kane, they're going to have to give us something. But Abraham, are you serious? You're going to go with come on, Abby, bro.
Look, you don't know what Daniel Levy would accept.
We would be doing them a favor to take Abraham and Suma off their hands and Harry Kane. Like that, we would be doing them a favor. Here, clean out our dead wood for us, and we'll give you our best player. That's like when I was a little kid and I used to go to my little brother and we were trading Pokemon cards, and I'd be like, "Hey, I'll give you 5 of these, level 1s for that one Charizard. Let's go. Come on." And then he does, "Yeah, buddy, that's cool. Yeah, I get 5 cards," because he doesn't know what they are.
You're evil. I play fantasy baseball, and you see people trying to pull shit like that all the time. I'll give you 3 mediocre players for the best player in baseball. It's like, no thanks, bud. Okay. So let's look at United. All right, who do you think United would throw in to sweeten the deal a little bit? Right? Who's untouchable? Right? Bruno's untouchable. They'll probably try and throw in Anthony Martial, if we're being honest. Who might despise.
People are throwing Hudson-Odoi out there too. Hudson-Odoi's been poor this season as well.
Straight swap.
Not a straight swap, but I'd take Foden.
How much money? How much money would it cost?
Foden in 70.
That's an expensive price to pay, but I think I would take that too for sure. I don't think
Foden's worth a whole lot right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's not how that works when you got a player with that pedigree and that youth. Van de Beek, interesting. Would you take Mason Greenwood? What? How much money plus
Billions value 66 right now, euro. So it's about 60 million pounds.
Foden's?
Yeah. on SofaScore. That's what his transfer rate.
Yeah.
So add a 20. But no, look, if you're talking, because they're both English players, so you don't have to add premiums, right? You can just go if one's say 65 mil and the other one's 150, right? Because it's homegrown for homegrown.
What about Jesse Lingard?
No.
Little J Ling.
Are you serious?
I'm just going with the comments.
Yeah, let's clean out Manchester United's trash. I mean, we got to think better than this, right? This is Harry Kane we're talking about. It's not about clean out the other team's dead woods and then
we're also
Harry
talking
Kane.
we're also talking about Daniel Levy, okay? Right? So if we're being realistic, like we know what we would do. We wouldn't sell Harry Kane, right?
Yes, Tommy Abraham is dead wood for Chelsea. Otherwise, he'd be starting for them week in and week out, and he's not. You can't tell me that Tommy Abraham can even light a fart of Harry Kane.
What about Martial and Wan-Bissaka?
Not Wan-Bissaka.
Do you rate Wan-Bissaka at all?
No.
Jack Konecki. Jack Konecki to IA.
Who's their top goal scorer? Yeah, at 6 goals, he's their top goal scorer. I don't even think he's their top goal scorer.
Okay, so what about so other than Foden, which we know isn't going to happen, okay? Who do you think that Manchester City would toss in?
If we don't get rid of, I look, if you're going to go to Man United, Greenwood would be a good one. I think he has potential. None of the Chelsea strikers or attackers. I would consider maybe what's his name? Ziyech.
Hakim Ziyech.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz.
Not Havertz.
Mason Mount. Probably untouchable.
Mount. I'm not a big fan of Mount.
We'll get Kyle Walker back.
Kyle Walker back. Kyle Walker.
Kyle Walker just kicking and screaming back to White Hart Lane. No!
I don't want to go to the Chelsea website. Get off there. My eyes are bleeding.
We're all sad, Abby.
Stats. Where do stats go? Or maybe goals.
Do you think that anything happens tomorrow in terms of protest in the wake of this news?
Yes, you got what? You got Abraham, Jorginho, Mount, and Werner on 6 goals for Chelsea. And then Zuma, Giroud, Havertz, Pulisic on 4 and 5. See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. You've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 players on 4+ goals. Whereas for us, this is how sad it gets. For Tottenham, you got Kane at 22, Son at 17,
Bale
at 9,
and then what?
And then
at 4.
Drops all the way down to 3.
And Ndombele
and more at 3. Aurier, Højbjerg at 2, and then you got like 1, 1, 1, 1, and that's it. And then with Chelsea, you've got more goals coming out of their whole team because their list goes. Ours only runs to 12. We only have 12 goal scorers. They have 14. Or 15, because there's 2 people tied for 14th. So, it's you got Man City. Got Gundogan. What about Gundogan? I take Gundogan. We need a creative midfielder. Because they can afford to let Gundogan go. They've got other players in that spot.
Yeah, but
They
until
rotate
this year,
that spot quite a bit.
He's been a disappointment for them up until this year, really.
Yeah, he is a bit old too.
Yeah, he had like a purple patch there in November and December and the start of January, and he's kind of gone quiet since then too.
He's old too.
Yeah, he's a little older.
It's like 30.
I fucking hate this club right now. I love this club, but I fucking hate this club right now.
Yeah.
So do you think that there will be any kind of protest tomorrow at the Villa game?
No.
It's hard to picture, isn't it? Even in the wake of this news, it's like
I'd hope that they would be.
The weekend was so deflating, and now it's like was the supporters trust meeting with the board today? Is there any news?
Yeah, I have no news yet that I know of. No news at all that I know of. Yeah, man. I mean, Phil Foden would be the only one from City that I would take. I mean, other than the ones that they're not going to give us, like Sterling and De Bruyne, right? But Mahrez, maybe. He's kind of old too, though, isn't he? Yeah, he's 32. City's team is actually quite aged, surprisingly.
Who would you? Yeah, but their foundation is solid, right? Diaz and De Bruyne and Foden. They've got a pretty decent.
I mean, De Bruyne's not young either. He's like 26, 27, right?
Yeah, but he's not old.
He's been injury riddled this season.
Little
Pretty
bit,
much in and out of the squad.
A little bit, yeah.
It's falling apart. Sergio Aguero is like 90.
Okay, so let's say we just get cash. Okay, let's say we get, I think realistically, 125 million is realistic.
Yeah.
How many players do you buy with 125 million? And in particular, who do you bring
on the
in?
Position.
Let's say so if you're going to buy 3 players, we need a striker, a center back, and a creative mid, or a right back.
Heck, let's pull up Transfer Market and do a little shopping.
I think my priority would be a top center back. I think I would probably bring in like I'd take a gamble on like an Ivan Toney to replace Harry Kane, because really if you buy a player who is like you're not going to buy a world-class player like Harry Kane. So if you buy like the next step down from a world-class player, I think it's more destined to fail than it is to succeed. I think it'll be just so much pressure. So you have to bring in somebody that, you know, the weight of the world won't be put on their shoulders as much as, you know.
Yeah, so let's share this up here.
So I'd probably spend 60 million on a center back, 20 to 25 on a striker, and the rest on a creative mid.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's get the bald heads out the way. I mean, you got Kylian Mbappe, Harry Kane, and Erling Haaland are obviously the most wanted one. But who else we got in here? Martinez. Argentines, for whatever reason, don't really fill me with a lot of enthusiasm other than Lionel Messi.
That's the Lamella complex.
Yeah. Well, Lamella, Celso. I mean, even Dybala, dude. Like, I'm sure as soon as Dybala steps foot into London and walks onto that training pitch, he's going to be injured for the rest of the year. Timo Werner, his thing's going down.
Darren wonders about Wilfred Zaha. I think he's a little bit old. And
what if we go for Richarlison?
He's not
Richarlison.
He's not exactly clinical, is he?
It's not bad.
Everton fans hate him.
Do they though?
Yeah. Yeah. He can't finish. Young enough guy.
True.
I don't think Everton are looking to be sellers, you know? I think they're looking to kick on.
Yeah, Calvert-Lewin probably be a better shot than Richarlison. I agree, Dara.
Not Icardi.
Icardi's just an a-hole. I mean, he's not a bad player. He's just kind of a jerk.
Got somebody saying Danny Ings.
No, I'm not set on Danny Ings. I don't rate Danny Ings at all. I don't rate him.
I don't think Danny Ings is like a move, because if we're selling Kane backwards. If we're selling Kane, we're rebuilding, and you can't build around Danny
Ings isn't even the top 25 in the world.
He's even more injury prone than Kane. He's like I'd
rather have Tommy Abraham than Danny Ings.
Ooh. At least
yeah, okay. I don't rate Danny Ings at all. At all. Don't rate him. Bamford. No, I don't rate Bamford either.
Moise Keane will be going back to Everton after this season, eh?
Yeah.
He's on loan. This sucks.
Oh, just look how far it drops down, dude. You got like Mbappe, Kane, and Haaland, and Lukaku. And then it's just like, I don't know. 23. Why is he worth? I'm gonna have to do some research on this cat. I don't watch a lot of Serie A, to be honest with you.
I don't think it would ever happen. But let's hypothesize. Let's dream a little bit. Would you take? Do you think Erling Haaland could work? I know you think he wouldn't adjust.
Him.
You don't think he would?
I don't think he would adjust in one season. Right, like I think it would probably take two. We would have a rough, but yeah, I'd take Erling Haaland in a heartbeat. I think this one is so far out into left field. I don't think Daniel Levy could get this done, even if he went over there and polished somebody's.
Yeah, we know that.
New haha.
We know that.
I'd love it.
What about Raul Jimenez?
Like you're replacing a 28-year-old Harry Kane with a 20-year-old Harry Kane? Okay, yeah, let's do that. That's like a good idea.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
The only like sliver of hope that you could have for that is that Erling Haaland is represented by Mino Raiola. So that is a big impediment to him going to Manchester City.
Yeah, but I mean, it just means they're going to have to pay a lot of money for him.
Yeah. Yeah, we know it's not going to happen, but what about Raul Jimenez?
Raul Jimenez?
I don't even think Wolves would sell him at this point, given what happened this year. Look,
after the head injury, and I said this earlier too, like it could end up being a
it'd be a big risk.
It could end up being a Ryan Mason type injury. Like you don't even know, right? I'm saying, like you don't even know how he's gonna.
I've heard he's supposed to see a specialist this week about whether or not he can resume playing football. I doubt we'll see him again this year. But
I'd be surprised if we saw him again ever.
Well, I don't want to say that, but it wouldn't surprise me if he didn't play again, you know. But I think everybody obviously hopes for the best for him.
So,
likable guy.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin is probably. I'd take Calvert-Lewin. I don't have a problem with Calvert-Lewin. I take Calvert-Lewin over somebody like Martial.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Um,
No Martial. No more French players.
Yeah. That's why I'm trying to skip. I'm skipping French and Argentine players. Sorry, guys. No, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, we know. That's why he's not coming here.
That's why we won't get him, because he's literally a 20-year-old version of Harry Kane.
If you could only pick one top world-class player to bring in, would you pick a center back or a striker? I'd pick a center back.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd pick a center back. But I mean, let's see if there's anybody else.
See, like this is the thing. Like Everton are not in sell mode right now. Everton are pretty close to eclipsing us here. Yeah, look at this. Did you see Sissoko got called the call, but Ndombele did not? What is this? Does Sissoko have photos, nudes?
I don't know, dude. I mean, he's part of that World Cup team. He's probably just going to be a bench sitter.
I will say this.
I mean,
if you see the way he plays for France, he's so much better for France than he is for us. Oh man, I can't wait to get rid of some of these players.
we're going to end up with Sergio Aguero. I can already feel it.
No.
Yeah. I mean, look, Danny Ings is ranked 56th, dude. He's
I think
28.
we're gonna end up with Harry Kane. I'm still buying that. I'm still holding on. I'm still holding a candle.
I'd almost rather have Shea Adams than Danny Ings. Like, if we're going to pick somebody up out of Southampton, I'd almost rather have Shea Adams.
We almost have to replace Harry Kane with an English player.
I mean, for folks in the comments, what are you guys thinking about Shea Adams? Who would you rather have, Danny Ings or Shea Adams? I'd rather have Adams. Adams look better for me, and he's 24.
He's been very inconsistent, though.
Yeah, but he's young, though. That's what I'm saying. He's got potential moving forward. Danny Ings is going to be good for, 2-3 seasons. Then his knees are going to turn to glass, and we're going to be worse off than when we were. And then we're going to have no money because the money will be already spent. But if you're going to spend money, if you're going to spend, 25, if you're going to go down to the bottom of the barrel and start spending 25 million pounds on a striker, you know what I mean?
Would you take?
Might as well buy somebody who could be worth something in the future.
Would you take Mitrovic as a backup to Harry Kane?
Dude is so big, though. He's so big and slow. A backup, yeah. He can put some goals in. He can pound some goals in.
He's kind of like a Vinicius, right?
No, he's way better at holding up the ball than Vinicius. He had a lot of injury problems this year too.
But when he didn't get a lot of play.
He's not useless. He scored a lot of goals in the Prem. He scored a lot of goals. Like, not last season, but the season before that when they were in the Prem.
Oh God,
he scored quite a bit.
No, Terry, no.
No. Bale can't be a striker. I don't think Bale stays if Kane goes, to be honest with you. There's already been rumors. I think there's a rumor the day before this Harry Kane rumor broke that Bale was going to turn us down and go back to Real Madrid anyway.
Dara, my Stones can't take very many more kicks, man.
I'm telling you, Ivan Toney I'd rather have Ivan Toney than Danny Ings. 31 goals.
Some of these prices, like, you're not getting Ivan Toney for 18 mil. I don't think. I like him.
2025, I think you pick him up.
25, yep. I wouldn't mind Toney, because if you were gonna like the hypothesis here for us was if we sell Harry Kane for $1.25 and buy 3 players.
And Ivan Toney's the type that drops deep too.
So that leaves 100 mil to buy 2 players, a creative mid and a center back. That's a lot of money to bring in some quality.
Timo Pukki scored a lot of goals in the Prem too. Until his phone dropped off. He was the league goal scorer for almost the first half of last season.
Yeah, he was as late as January.
So let's not slag people off just because they're playing for a championship side. Right? When has Danny Ings ever led the league in goal scoring? Never, that I know of.
The thing is, like, okay, so Harry Kane's on 22 goals, right? But that's joint leader with Mo Salah for the Golden Boot race. You don't get players scoring 30 goals very often anymore, right? Look at, like you said, who's Manchester City's top goal scorer this year?
Huh?
Isn't it İlkay Gündoğan?
Yeah.
You don't need Ivan Toney to come in and score 30 goals.
No,
right?
You need him to only score 10.
But you need to be spreading out the goals a little bit more. We've become so easy to defend because they know that that's all we've got.
Exactly. That's exactly my point.
Heung-min Son. So
that's exactly my point. Like, we may not have a Golden Boot striker year in and year out. That's what I'm saying. For even not even just this season, but for the last 3 or 4 years, we've been so dependent. Right? Like the 16-17 season, the reason why it went so well is we had Eriksen scoring, we had Dele scoring, we had Son scoring, we had Kane scoring. Right? We had 4 or 5 good players
that all made each other better, that all provided pressure on the defense, that all opened up space for one another. Now you look at it, Harry Kane has to come across their own center line to get a touch on the ball, and he's immediately descended upon by 3 players, you know, at least against any kind of quality, an average defense. Average defenses make us look bad offensively.
I'm sorry, Darren Ferran, but I just don't think. I think you throw Ings into that Brentford side, I don't think he scores 31 goals in the championship. I don't see it. You throw Danny Ings on that Brentford team, and there's no way he scores 31 goals. No way. No way.
Danny Ings has 12 goals in 27 matches.
No way he scores 31 goals and 10 assists on that Brentford side.
Danny Ings, he did score 22 goals last season.
Yep. And then it drops off for that.
Last season was basically his only healthy year.
Yep.
28 years old, too. He's like, you sell Kane, now you're building for the future. You don't build for the future by bringing in somebody Harry Kane's age.
And more banged up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Danny Ings isn't a quality striker,
but he's just
look.
If
he can't even get into the England team, why are people? I don't understand. Why do people defend Danny Ings so much?
That's a pretty tough side to get into right now.
That's what I'm saying. But like, I would rather have Calvert-Lewin than Danny Ings.
Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin probably isn't coming.
I just don't understand why
Calvert-Lewin's probably costing like 2 to 3 times as much as Danny Ings as well.
No way, Paul. Not happening. Not happening. I'm sorry. I don't see it. He's not fast enough. He's not creative enough. Like, you pull up that Brentford side and you look at where the goals are coming from that Brentford side. Look at who's delivering them. He has to create a lot of those goals on his own. And Danny Ings doesn't do that. Danny Ings is a poacher. Iheanacho's a decent shout. Iheanacho, maybe. He's got some potential. He's still really young, though.
Marcelo likes Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins, he's been pretty inconsistent this year. He's missing his buddy there, Jack Grealish. I guess that kind of would tie into whether
I think we'll see Watkins season 2, right? I mean, he was the same thing, right? Coming out of Brentford. Didn't produce as much as Ivan Toney has for Brentford.
No.
But looked good. Look, the only reason I've watched Ivan Toney a lot intentionally, and the thing that really strikes me about Ivan Toney is he is one willing to drop deep, come all the way to the center line, into the defensive third, pick the ball up and play balls out to wide wingers. I mean, he's got 40 plus attacking returns in the championship. Second season in a row of Golden Boot in League One, Golden Boot in Championship. I mean, the dude's on fire. right? He's English. I don't understand why people are throwing him under the bus.
I want to ask the people in the comments, when you take sentimentality out of the equation and the obvious raw emotion we would feel if we did sell Harry Kane, can you make a case right now to do it in the best interest of opening up a new competitive window in a couple of years? Can you make a case that selling Harry Kane is actually the right thing to do right now? Because I think you can. And I'm not saying that we should, but I think you could.
I hope you guys can't hear that Geico ad rolling back here.
No, we can't.
Shut up. Shut up. I can hear it, but it's not. I don't have my system stuff going through here. But look, man. Goal participation, only 34%. Minutes, only playing 63 minutes. He's only starting 11, 69%. Right?
It's going to be a long summer,
great finisher. Look, no, I'm sorry, people. I don't understand what this obsession with Danny Ings is. He only had 43 goals with Burnley, 46 with Southampton, 8 with Bournemouth, 4 with Liverpool, 5 with Liverpool. How is that a great finisher? He has 55 Premier League goals in 138 appearances. And you want to replace somebody who scored almost 400 goals in just as many appearances?
Yeah, but you can't. Nobody's going to replace Harry Kane in the way that you.
In the entire time he played
about.
In the Championship, he had 27 goals. Ivan Toney's had that in one season.
Yeah, I'd go.
I don't understand what this obsession with Danny Ings is. How are you saying that somebody who's had 55 Premier League goals in his entire career is a brilliant finisher?
He is a good player.
He's a good backup for an old man. I don't understand what this Danny Ings obsession is. Is it the tattoos?
It's probably because we've been linked to him in the past.
No, it's because people don't actually look at things well. And look at all the injuries. Knee injury, hamstring injury. Not on the squad. Knees made of glass. How? You have to tell me how. You have to tell me how.
Piss off, Bob. Piss off, Bob Spur TV. Everybody subscribe to Bob Spur TV, though.
How? How is Ings very good when he's healthy? When he's only scored...
Well, he scored 22 goals last season. That's pretty good. Kane's on 22 goals this season. And that's in a pretty crappy Southampton side. So these people have a point, Will.
It's not a point. It's not a point. It's not a point when you've scored 106 goals in your entire career.
He scored 22 goals last year. He was healthy for 38 games. That's the same number of goals that Kane has.
He had a good season.
Listen,
he's only scored 106 goals in his entire career.
Once you've displayed a skill set as a player, you own that skill set. I'm sorry. That was only 1 year ago.
No, this is the same. I'm going to say it now because I'm getting pissed off. This is the same bullshit excuse people to go off to make it sound Lamella make it sound good. It's because he's been hurt a lot. Yeah, that's the problem. He can't stay fit. Part of being a footballer is being fit. Being fit. You can't tell me that someone who scored a striker who's only scored 106 goals in his entire career is a quality player.
I don't think anybody really acknowledges him as the proper replacement for Harry Kane, but they're just trying to say he's
Why
not.
are we even talking about it? He
All
is
they're
shit.
saying that is he's not shit, and that's
shit.
correct. No, he's not
He's
shit.
shit.
You can't score 22
At
goals in
28
the Premier
years
League
old
in
and
one
100
season.
goals. Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Nobody shit does that. Tell me one shit player that scores 22 goals in one season in the goddamn Premier League.
A lot of
Okay,
shit
you
players
do that. You have a skill set you own.
No, shit players do that.
Who?
You get lucky.
Tell me one.
Danny
Is
Ings.
Mo Salah shit? He's on 22 goals this year. Nobody in the Premier League has scored more than 22 goals this year. 22 goals might win the Golden Boot this year. You can't win the Golden Boot if you're shit.
Yeah, shit. He had a good season. One good season end of his whole career.
Yeah, I don't like him. But he's
28.
not shit. He's not shit.
He is shit. He's
No,
too
he's
shit to
not
play for
shit.
Tottenham Hotspur. He is.
He is a shit fit for Tottenham Hotspur, but he is not a
Yes.
shit player.
He can play for Southampton. As a backup to whoever we bring in to try and replace Harry Kane, I'd take Danny Ings as a backup. As a Llorente type backup, I'd take Danny Ings to come in and come in off, play a Europa League game here or there, come in off the bench to give a little bit of rotation to somebody who's actually going to go out there and perform. Yeah.
What about this?
Yeah.
Not a bad shout.
A rotation of the two of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you'd
But I'm
have,
saying if you're talking
Scarlett as well. I don't know if there's room for all three of them on the squad in the first
Scarlett's
team.
still too young, man. The kid's not even 18 yet. We gotta have some Dane Scarlett. As much
I'm
as I
just
love
saying,
him,
but as third option, right? So
I mean, you start bringing. He hasn't even trained with the first team regularly.
he trained with them all year. Yeah, he trained with them all year.
Danny Ings is a
Jose
good
had-
Llorente type striker, but he's not a starter. He's not.
Oh, well,
If he wants to come in and play second fiddle to somebody, that's fine. He's not a starter. He's not a week in, week out first 11 player.
This is correct because there is no one close to his level
Exactly.
that we
There
can
are a
bring
lot
in.
better players than Danny Ings if you want to look at someone who's going to come in and start week in and week out. Yeah, I'd agree. We starting week in, week out, 100%. Danny Ings is going to miss half the season.
Yes, Arthur. Keep the hope alive. I agree.
I hope you're right, Arthur.
I think
just don't have faith.
I think Levy is too stubborn to take less than what he wants for it, and I think he's going to ask too much. I don't know. I don't know if it's the right thing to do to hold on to him. Holding on to a player against his will.
Detailed stats. Where are the damn detailed stats at?
Do you think we'll get into Europa? No?
Hard to say. Why did that take me to why are there no goals?
People in the comments, let me know who you would want to come in for us from a center back point of view. If we could buy like a top, like let's say 50 to 60 million on a center back, who would be first choice for you?
Gotta talk while I'm looking.
Yeah. I think Botman is only like Botman would be like 25, 30 mil, right?
Yeah, he's not that expensive right now.
Are you in on this Joaquin Anderson?
No,
Is this one of those things where we're so starved of quality at the back end that we would just look at someone like that and say, and just have goo eyes, you know what I mean? Because if he's that good, why don't Lille want him? Why is he out on loan? Why are they willing to part with him? I know it's one thing to have better players, right?
Yeah, we just got.
Is he that good if he's playing for a side that's getting relegated? I don't want to put the relegation on Anderson's feet. Generally speaking, most people speak highly about him. I just don't know if
he's moved up to number 2 in the world, dude, since going to City.
Yeah. Where's Skriniar? There he is, 55. That's up from what, 45?
Yeah. Top 10. What about Bastoni? Marcelo, where you at? Shout, not shout. Marcelo.
Marcelo likes Joachim Anderson.
Marcelo is my defensive coordinator.
Is he?
Yeah.
You're his Korean correspondent. Bob Spur says, how about Danny Ings?
Oh, Bob Spur. Stick some up his nostrils.
Oh, man.
Who's still good? Marcelo, are you paying attention or are you just arguing with people in the chat? I'm asking you a question. Bastoni. Yay, nay. 22.
22 and
on about Milinkovic.
55
Marcelo.
mil. Arthur likes Connor Cody. Man of the match.
Cody's not bad, to be honest with you.
Like, how many goals did he save yesterday or Sunday?
Marcel says he's good. Yeah, he's good. Why are we going for like Bastoni then? He's young, 22, maybe too young. He's getting a lot of playing time though. 32 appearances, 85 minutes. That means he's well seasoned.
Championship experience. That's I would like that.
Italian champion.
I would like that. Marcelo, we're hypothesizing selling Kane for 125 and buying 3 players. So 55 for him is not out of the realm of possibility, and it'll be less. I don't know what the exchange rate is. I know euros are worth a little less. Probably be 45 million euros.
And he's Italian, so he knows how to defend.
No, not an option, apparently. Bastoni is staying. Everybody has their price, right? People said that Kane wouldn't leave, blah, blah, blah. Inter won't sell him.
Hey, everybody's for sale if the price is right.
Everybody has their price.
Everybody has their price.
Everybody.
But look, they're Inter Milan center back rich right now, man. Probably end up with DeVries.
No, Darren. I can admit that he's not shit, but he is not the replacement.
They're all in contract to the same year. In contract 2023. I don't know.
We'll probably get Jerome Boateng.
You like this guy, didn't you, Marcelo Koundé?
We'll probably sell Kane and we'll end up with Boateng on a free.
I still think we should go in for Varane.
Dtrex is in love with Sven Botman. You know what? I want Sven Botman too, just so that we can pair him with Joe Rodon and we can have a robot center back pairing.
Yeah, Marcelo says Koundé is the dude. He's like the new dude. Marcelo said. But he's going to PSG.
Botman's left-footed too, right? So Botman and Rodon. Would you put Tanganga back at center back?
Yeah.
People in the comments, is Tanganga a center back or a right back in your eyes? Smash a like.
I mean, what do you think about like a Impicano Rodin Tanganga future? It doesn't sound horrible.
Yeah, it sounds bright.
It doesn't sound horrible. Gotta get rid of Sanchez though.
Wayne
Can you
Bonner
believe
likes,
he's still in the top.
Wayne Bonner wants to bring in the vets.
I believe David Sanchez is still top 25 in the world. Center back. Sell him. Get that money.
If we could get that, my goodness. If we could get as much as Botman costs for Davinson Sanchez.
Poor United. Look at Harry Maguire's like 40 million.
Everybody's
5
saying
million.
Everybody's saying Tanganga is a center back. How do you justify Jose's thought process about moving him to right back?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of Laporte either, though. I think John Stones is on his way out. I think he had a good season, and that was it. He was kind of on his way out for that. You know, I think Diaz and Laporte are kind of the...
Would you take Stones here?
Maybe for a year or two. Anyway.
Most people saying center back for Tanganga.
Your daughter's still sleeping?
See, I don't
even look at the time.
Yeah, they're still passed out. The thing is, I get this, but Tanganga probably has the biggest vertical of anybody in the squad. Like, if him and Dyer stood beside one another and both jumped as high as they could, Tanganga would jump, his head would be way higher than Eric Dyer's. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think Tanganga would do better than Eric Dyer. I think he's more athletic. He's better on the ball and he's more athletic. That's why he can play right back. He can play right back.
Pretty low bar to set to say that you can play better than Eric Dyer, though.
That's why I say right back. Carlos, that's true. My mom would probably play better than Dyer. She's like 60 something.
Yeah. How long do you think it's going to take us to rebuild?
No.
Is there any
If
scenario?
you're smart about it, you could do it in a season.
Is there any scenario in which you see us keeping Kane and actually building? There's building and then there's rebuilding, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, if you keep Kane and you sell, like I said, you sell 5 and you buy 2.
Marcelo thinks we're done for a decade.
No, not 10 years. Well, look, if we didn't have Levy as our owner / chairman, he can even be the owner as long as he's out of the football side of things. If we had a normal leadership, you could do it in a year. But with Daniel Levy, at least 5 years. At least 5. He's not a Leafs fan.
I am a Montreal Canadiens fan.
He said that like 12 times.
I despise the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I think he's trolling you. I think he's asked you that like 5 or 6 times.
Everybody in the comments, yes or no, do you think Kane is going this summer? I am not sold yet that he's
Smash
going.
a like on the stream too. I keep forgetting to promote the stream. I haven't even looked to see how many it has. I haven't even
About
looked.
40.
40. There's like 55 people watching, and there's been 55 for the last hour. And a lot of people saying no. Dietrich Kane saying yes. Paul saying yes. Marcel's mug's en route. Is out for delivery. He's got a ball and bearded Tottenham boys mug.
He's going to get his before mine, for crying out loud. Hey?
You haven't gotten yours yet?
No, I think it's next week, 23rd or something.
Crap, dude. I'm
I
sorry
know.
for people that live in Canada.
I'm never buying from this store again.
Yeah, I'll never buy from it again. I wouldn't blame you.
The guy who runs the store makes so much money, and he's evil because he puts Enoch out on stuff, and then he profits off our pain.
Yeah, profit off your pain.
And he likes Danny Ings.
Likes Danny Ings
and Eric Lamella.
I don't hate Danny Ings. I don't even dislike Danny Ings. But I think it's absolutely ridiculous that anybody at our club is talking about bringing him in as anything other than a backup to the backup of the backup. It can be a Lorente, and that's it.
Well, we got Musa in the house saying no, he's not leaving yet. Well, I didn't say today.
Where's Harry Winks? Where's Steve Hitchin? Steve Hitchin, if you're in the house, you were in the house last night. Steve Hitchin, is Harry Kane going? Yes or no? Is Harry Kane leaving?
It's pretty split. No. Pretty well split down the middle of people's opinion.
Make sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Our goal is to hit 650 by Sunday night. If you could help us do that, if this is your first time watching the show, and you want to hear some guy who likes to talk about soccer, talk about Tottenham Hotspur playing soccer, hit that subscribe button. Or if you want to come over here and troll me, make sure you hit that subscribe button too, so you know every time that we go live, so you can come over here and troll. That's good. But no, we appreciate the subscribe. And yeah. See, even Michael says it. Show's addicting. Hit the like, folks. It's very easy to do. It's free. I agree. But that's the problem.
There's life after Harry Kane. There will be.
There is life after. And to be honest with you, and if you did it in a Kane this year, Son next year, you could really spring up the team. I'm serious. Look, sell Kane this year, sell Son next year. Best world scenario, you do the other way. You sell Son this year and sell Kane next year. But if Kane wants to go first, that's what you do. You could really freshen up the squad. You really could. Because I still think, even with only 1 year left on his contract, or maybe even the winter transfer window, you could probably sell Son for 55, 60 mil.
Arthur, what let us know what your channel is called.
It's called like Ask Arthur, right?
Is it?
Yeah. Ask Arthur, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, but I'm scared of Levy too, and Hitchin too. I mean, it could be a benefit. Like I said, if you're a manager, overnight, we'd lose part of it, right? Just like Man United has lost some of their fan base to Tottenham because of Son Heung-min. But they're going to be the faithfuls that stick around for the, the love that they've garnered for the club after a while. I would say you'd probably lose 50%. That's what my guess is. 50%. And then that would wane year after year unless we sign another one. Like, we could go get that Korean forward from RB Leipzig if we wanted to keep some of that fan base. Bring him in as a young backup. He's at 18 million on center backs.
Arthur says his channel is called Arthur Everett. Okay, I will check that out, Arthur. Looking forward to seeing.
I thought he said Ask Arthur on what's my name's channel earlier today.
I did a search and it didn't come up, so I'll have to look later. Yeah, Marcelo, we know this. We need football people, right? We need a Ralph Ragnick. We need a Luis Campos.
Yeah.
We need a Ten Hag. We need football people. We don't have football people. like the basics. The basics. We don't have the basics.
I mean, if we wanted to sell Sun and keep a lot of the Korean money, this would be a good signing right here for a backup.
I love Harry Kane. I love Heung-min Son, but I am so fucking sick of this iteration of Tottenham Hotspur right now. I'm ready to close this chapter. I'm ready to turn the page, start something new, temper my expectations.
He's not got a lot of playing time, but if you just want to do like a market signing, it'd be a good one. He just signed with them, so he's a brand new player to the league.
Yeah. What time are the Three Wise Men coming on?
Three Wise Men show is going on
6 p.m. New York time?
6 p.m. New York time. The Three
11.
Wise Men show, 11 UK. Tottenham, who are we and how do we get there? The Three Wise Men. And then we've got Cody's show all by himself tomorrow morning.
Well, I got Brian Daigle.
Brian Daigle is coming on to be the guest. Brian's going to be on our channel like 2 nights in a row. Brian's on our channel all the time anyway. We love Brian. He's a big friend of the show. Big friend of the show, Zal.
I'll see how long I can keep Brian Daigle talking about like the actual football aspect.
That'll be good. And then we have possibly tonight, depending on, I'm starting to feel good now, but we also have the Villa v Spurs pre-match rant.
We got round the clock content for y'all.
Round the clock content for everybody here. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. So
we got a show for every time zone.
Hit it. And if people want to know what we're talking about, like if you guys want to know what Marcel is talking about, we do have THFCRants.com. You can get Danny the Bun. Moon boots. That's moon boots. Moon boots. Moon boots. Moon boots. Moon boots. And I'm telling you, bro. For all you Marcelo fans out there, right? Smash your lips on the like, as Jack Kaniki likes to say. And yeah, man. What do you guys say, Cody? We're 2 hours, bro.
Yeah. 2 hours basically just on Harry Kane.
I mean, the first half hour was like beards and some other stuff.
It was probably the best
good
part.
Show, though. Probably was the best part. It's a good show, though.
It's always better. It's always better when we go down a rabbit hole about something non-foot. Right now, anyway. Like if we were sitting in 4th place, still, if we were in the Europa final right now, can you imagine all the things that we had such high hopes for at the start of this year? You know, when the Bale news came and Reguilon, all those, we thought we had a great transfer window. We started off solid, top of the league, December, beat the Gooners. And it has just been one long, steep tumble down the hill every single day with my balls crashing against the rocks.
Yeah, I agree. Other people in the chat who want to troll me with Danny Ings or do whatever, I just don't agree. Look, if you hate me because I don't like Danny Ings, sorry. I just don't. I don't like Lamella. I don't like Harry Winks. I don't like Ben Davies. I don't like Eric Dyer. I don't like. Who else don't I like?
This has been a little over the top. This has been above average Spursy season.
I agree. See, Marcel, I see you, Marcelo.
I agree with
see
this.
You.
I agree with this.
You see me.
You Brazilian. Beep. That's a long time ago, man. This is the worst one in a while. You got to admit, when you factor in like Jose, when you factor in COVID, when you factor in no fans, this has been on another level.
People get so Marcelo, what is it? Look, we're going to be doing a show on Bob's about the divide in the fans. But man, it's just sometimes, look, and I don't like to be like reaching out and smacking people, slapping people across the face. But I just don't understand. It's Danny Ings. He's never played for us. Ever. Ever. Ever. Why are people defending him? I don't get it. I don't get it.
But what do you think about Danny Ings as a Harry Kane replacement?
No, I don't want to see Danny Ings ever put on a Tottenham Hotspur shirt. No. Never. Danny Ings is a top quality lad, isn't it? No. God, no. No. THFCRants.com. That's where you get the merch. We get the merch. Get the merch. Buy the merch. It's my Southern American accent. Get some of them merch. Get some of them merch down there over there. THFCRants.com.
Just before we go, do you want to touch on the supporters trust?
Any news come out about that yet?
No, but I just mean, like, what do you make of them agreeing to meet with?
Look, dude, if it's in, I'm so beat up. I'm so beat up and beat down by all of this stuff. And somebody's stomach's growling.
It's mine. You can hear that?
Go eat some food, damn it, Cody. Got his goldfish there. What's it talking about? Supporters trust. I'm so beat up and beat down that I think they're going to capitulate. I think they'll give in, and Daniel Levy will talk him into making it all go away, and we'll never hear about it. He's not a lot better than I'm making out, Darren Ferrin. There's no statistical evidence to prove that. None.
Disagree.
You have a 28-year-old man who's only scored 100 goals in his career. How many goals has him and son scored?
Like 110?
No, more than that. He scored 110 just for Spurs.
He just scored his 100th last year.
For Spurs. I'm talking in his whole career. Ever.
Oh, okay.
106 goals.
You cannot be a shit player and play for a shit side and score 22
Eric
goals.
Lamela has almost scored as many goals as Danny Ings. Let's put that into perspective.
No, he hasn't.
In his whole career, yes, he has.
Danny Ings
Like
scored
it's
more
70
goals in one season in the Premier League than Lamela has scored for Spurs.
Yeah, but you're forgetting how good he was at Roma. There's only 30 goals separate Danny Ings and Eric Lamela.
Cannot be shit.
Just
score
saying.
22 goals in one season.
Yes, you can.
Especially considering it was just last year.
I'm not saying he's shit. I'm saying he's not good.
But the source of the argument between you and Darren and some of these people is that you're making him sound like he's shit.
Because he's 28
That's all they're saying.
and he had one good season. Take those 22
shit.
goals out of his thing, and he scored as many goals as Eric Lamela.
Not shit.
Okay.
It is impossible to be shit and score 22 goals.
It is not impossible.
Kane has 22 goals this season.
It's not impossible.
Mo Salah has 22 goals this season. These are some of the best players in world football. right? You
That
don't
is
fluke
not
your way.
impossible.
You do not fluke your way to 22 goals in the best league in world football. You do not.
Yes,
You
you
can
can.
be-
You have a
you can
good,
be-
lucky season.
You can be above average and do that, but you cannot be shit and do that. Timo
No, I
Werner is
disagree.
shit. Timo Werner is shit.
Timo Werner's
Danny
not
Ings ain't shit.
I'd rather have Timo Werner than Danny Ings. In
the
a
scenario.
1,000 years.
You've seen Timo Werner this year, though, right?
Easily average.
Yeah, look, I understand everything about the argument for Danny Ings coming here. I'm not defending Danny Ings coming to Tottenham. He's not the answer. He's not a kind of player that you build around if you sell Harry Kane. I'm not saying
Look,
that.
you
All
have
I'm saying is
one-
that he's not shit.
You have
there
one
are shit players.
uncharacteristic season. You have one uncharacteristic season, and then all of a sudden it makes you average. No, consistency makes you average. Right? Think about it. Say he has scored 15 goals a season. If he scored 15 goals a season,
Marcelo
right,
thinks
for
he's
10
average.
years, 15 goals a season for 10 years, how many goals does that get you in your career? Easy math. 150. Danny Ings has 106.
You've seen Danny Ings play, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're knocking him down quite a bit because he's injury prone, but Danny Ings can play football.
Of course, I would hope so. If he's a professional footballer, I would hope he can play football.
He can play football well. He has played football well.
That's debatable. I think he plays football.
Statistically
Look,
incorrect.
I have high standards for people. Right? I have high standards for people. This is the problem. There are people that are out there.
Holy. What
There are people
percentage
that
of players in the Premier League are shit, according to you? Then?
A lot.
Yeah, that's that. I don't
lot.
look at it like that.
I do. Right, there's people out there that say Ben Davies deserves a testimonial. Alex D. With the Ben Davies testimonial. 10 years, the greatest left back ever. Yes, I can guarantee you that Timo Werner will score more goals in his career than Danny Ings has. He's playing for a better team, a better division, a better side, played at higher levels. Yes, Timo Werner has had a bad season in his first season at Chelsea, but that has already started to change, right?
But good players are consistent.
You can't call it Danny Ings is far from consistent. Far from consistent.
So
obviously,
if you think most of the players in the Premier League are shit, then you have to think Timo Werner is shit.
He was shit
You
this
cannot
year, yeah.
deny that.
Shit this year, 100%. But no one was saying he was shit last season. Everyone's saying Chelsea just went out and bought one of the best top 5 strikers in the world. True or false?
They certainly paid for it. What'd they pay for him though? 50 mil?
More than that. I think it was like 65 or
I
70.
I thought Havertz and Ziyech were the bigger price tag.
I don't remember. I can tell you. Give me a second.
Oh, Danny Ings. Fuck me.
Can't spell people's names.
Where does everybody, if everybody had to, in the comments, had to predict where we finish next year in the table, only knowing what you know, right? Taking all of the knowledge out there in the sphere of Tottenham, right? Apply all of that into the scenario of next season and tell me where you think we finish next season, right?
Timo was brought in for 53 million euros.
Yeah, see, Kai Havertz was, I think, 70. I don't know if we finish in the top 6 next year. It's a tough question. You know, if teams like Leeds, Everton, Villa have good summer windows, and we don't.
Yeah.
If West Ham builds on what they've achieved this year, if Arsenal have a big summer spending spree, I mean, we could be dropping down. We could be dropping down. We could be dropping down 10th.
Look at this. Timo Werner scored 95 goals and 159 appearances for Leipzig. Danny Ings has scored 106 goals in his entire career. Number don't lie.
I agree. Timo Werner's had a bad season, and I don't think we should be writing him off as completely talentless. But the highlight reel of chances that he has squandered this year is just unbelievable.
He 25.
He's like one of the worst XG underperformers in the entire Premier League.
Sure, he's had a hard time settling into.
I would still take Werner over Danny Ings.
100%. You'd be crazy not to.
Yep.
Crazy not to.
But Danny Ings ain't shit.
He's not good.
He's not great.
Not good. Average. At best,
average.
I said he was average. No, I said average.
You said you can't be average without being consistent.
I'm saying he's, in my mind, an average. Bang average is shit.
Show's over now. Thank you for tuning in to THFC Rants.
Danny Ings is average.
Okay,
average.
I can accept that because average is not shit.
Well, Ben Davies is average. Eric Dyer is average. Eric Lamela is average. Harry Winks is average. Yeah, Danny Ings is average.
But he's not average. Shit. Okay.
Yeah, apparently Werner just scored.
Yeah, he was offside. Yeah.
As I'm saying it. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. We've been on here for over 2 hours. I have stuff I got to do. Cody's got to go wake up his girls from their nap if they're not already tearing the room apart while Daddy's streaming the interwebs.
You know what? I filled their water dish and their food dish. They should be fine.
Roll out a little newspaper there from Take a Poo Poo. And hey, I know how that is. I used to make cages for my kids when my wife was gone. We get these little pins and just throw a bunch of 20s in there and boom, and I go watch TV and just long enough where I could hear until they get until they get to about 3 years old, and then they can start figuring out how to disassemble the cages, even no matter how quality you make them. Then they can get out of that. That's the problem. They can get out of it. Graham Pochettino. XG is too strong.
You mean,
guys.
The guy that lost? The guy that lost to Wolves the week before we smoked him. But yes, let's end on that. Tune in morning THFC 6 a.m. New York time tomorrow. 11 a.m. GMT. The one and only Brian Daigle, who is bound to be calm, cool, collected, and a happy guy.
Subscribe to the show. Hit that bell. It's the channel. This isn't just a show. This is a channel. It's like a channel like NBC, CBS, PBS. We have multiple shows on the channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll flash through a couple of these shows here just for you guys to know. Morning THFC with Cody Mac every Wednesday coming at 6 a.m. New York time. You have the Bald and Bearded Tottenham Boys show. That's the show that you have just been watching. This one comes at 1:30 p.m. New York time every Tuesday for now. We also have The Three Wise Men, a brand new show premiering tonight at 6 p.m. New York time. You just add 5 hours for your UK times. And then we have The Will Stewart's THFC rants shows pre and post match for every Spurs match. Tonight we may have the pre-match rant for Villa v Spurs. This one is the one that is open up to all of you, the fans, to come on and have your say
about Danny
if you want to
Ings.
come on here and talk to me about Danny Ings, make sure that you come on this show tonight and we can debate Danny Ings. I'm nicer when you come on the show than if you just troll me in the chat. So make sure to join the show with us. It's far more fun. Harry Kane wants out. That's what it is. Cody Mac and I, we are the bald and bearded Tottenham boys. Stay strong. Stay Spurs. And we will see you next time.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's go now.